Only a minute. Besides, I'm not the one doing most of the talking. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Yeah, we can start late.
What then?
We can start late.
Okay, we actually might have to close those doors. Oh, that's right, because a couple of the folks who come in here are parents,
Yeah.
so they would be down there in the thing. But anyways, all right. Well, welcome those of you who are catching us online. We're a little bit short in here tonight, but that's okay. Hopefully there'll be some people watching online both now and a little bit later on. So, anyways, good to have everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay. What, y'all know of any birthdays? Y'all got any friends who have birthdays? Any family members? Anybody? What about church? We got any church people?
No church people.
No church people. I do have a good friend who is having a birthday, Amelia Wingate. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. In fact, she might be watching this. I don't know, sometimes she tunes in. But yeah. She's from my former church, and she and her husband used to let me go over there and go fishing at their house and all that kind of stuff. But just great folks. But anyway, I'm sure she's only, like 39, something like that. All right. Well, there are a few birthdays that I thought were interesting, and so let me share a few of those with you. And then we've got a different kind of night going on. But in this date, in 1836, Sir Norman Lockyer, he was an English physicist, and he was to be especially celebrated on today because he was the co-founder of helium gas. So, helium balloons or whatever. He probably celebrating his own birthday, but and sucking in that stuff, making his voice go high. But anyway, he died in 1920, but born on this day, 1936. And so, Glenn, this is just for you, not just for you, but in 1868, Horace Elgin Dodge, co-founder of Dodge. So anyway, he was born in Niles, Michigan. He also died in 1920. 1956, happy birthday to Bob Saget. Y'all remember the comedian Full House and America's Funniest Videos. He was born in Philadelphia on this date and died just last year, 1922.
I didn't know he died.
Sorry, 2022. 1956. Now, what did just last week? Okay, maybe not just last week. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Sugar Ray Robinson's birthday because he was born right here, like just over an hour away from here, near Mount Vernon. But today we celebrate Sugar Ray Leonard's birthday. And he was born in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So can you believe Sugar Ray Leonard is 67 years old? You talk to him, he probably thinks he can make another comeback. But also in the area of sports, 1959, Jim Nantz, who's an announcer, very good still to this day, born in Charlotte, North Carolina. And there were several basketball birthdays today. Several, at least people that I know about. And so I'm not going to bore y'all with those because not everybody cares about basketball, but I will bring up that today in 1963 was John Koncak's birthday, or is John Koncak's birthday. Y'all might not know who that is. But back in the late 80s, he was a center for the Atlanta Hawks. And he was given maybe possibly one of the worst contracts in NBA history. I mean, he made like a ton of money in that day, and he was just an average player to the point where his nickname was John Contract. But anyway, his birthday is today. 1985, I don't know if any of y'all watched Dancing with the Stars. Derek Huff, y'all know him. Y'all go on by, it's fine, it's no big deal.
Duck a little if you don't
Just
want to be
wait, just
seen.
wave as you walk by. Just wave to him as you walk by. But anyway, Derek Huff's birthday, 1985, so he's still just a youngin'. And then also 1985, Matt Ryan, because I'm a Falcons fan. But anyway, a few deaths on this day that were kind of interesting. 1829, John Jay. Y'all know who John Jay was? First Chief Justice, Supreme Court. But he died on this date at age 83. Some of you guys, well, I was a misogynist in our in our practice round that we eliminated on purpose. So maybe it's not just for guys, but 1886 on this date, John Deere died. He was 82. 1992, Lawrence Welk died of pneumonia. He was 89 years old. 1992. My goodness, I remember going to my grandparents' house. They lived there in Jessup. I'd go to their house. They had like one channel, only one TV. You know, that was back in the day. Yes, and Lawrence Welk would be on. Oh my word, it was the most boring thing on the planet. But man, they love that stuff. What's up with you people who like Lawrence Welk? It doesn't make no sense to me. But anyway, died on this date in 1992. And then 2012, Donna Summer died of lung cancer. She was only 63. I did not know that. Okay, a few events on this day that I thought were interesting. When do you think the first merry-go-round was presented to the world? Just wild guess.
1820.
1820? What now? 1880? Any other wild guesses? It was introduced on this date in the country of Turkey in 1620.
Oh, wow.
Yes, couldn't believe it. But also, any guesses on? And y'all were a little bit closer with this. First guesses on when the first color photograph was taken. It was on this date by Thomas Sutton. Anybody got any ideas as to when? Just throw out a wild year. 19th century. I'll narrow it down there.
1887.
1861. Wow. Yeah, first color photograph taken. Also on this date in 1877, Edward T. Holmes installs the first telephone switchboard burglar alarm. Wow. I didn't know they were really advanced. Didn't even know it. 1897, the first successful submarine. Now, when I say successful submarine was launched by the United States, that means that it was able to stay under for a long time and go a long distance. But this 1897. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was first published on this date. Anybody got an idea of what year? 1930s? Y'all might be thinking of the movie because it was actually published in 1900. I didn't know that. But anyway. 1939, the first televised baseball game was put on NBC. And it wasn't professional, it was college. Princeton beat Columbia 2-1. But anyway. And then, Bruce, this is specifically for you. On this date in 1944, Dwight Eisenhower set the date for D-Day on this date. Of course, the D-Day was actually June 5th, or June 7th.
June
6th. Anyway, it was set on this date. He decided. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But anyway, all right. Now, a little bit of programming notes for what is coming up. We are beginning next week. We are getting back in our Route 66, and we are on the home stretch, people. We are in our last booklet. We're going to be covering Hebrews through Revelation. Hebrews through Revelation. So that will be, I believe, it's 9 books. But I'm thinking that I'm going to be doing a lesson specifically on Gnosticism, because you need to understand Gnosticism to have a full appreciation of really much of the New Testament, but certainly these books. And so I think I'm going to do a whole separate lesson on Gnosticism, which was a heresy that invaded the church in the first century, and second and third century, actually. So it'll be 10 lessons, but so what's going to happen is we're going to begin those next week, and we're going to actually cover 3 before the summer, and then we're going to get in, and actually the first that'll take us through the first Wednesday in June, and then Andrew's going to be doing a lesson for us while I'm at the convention in New Orleans this year, the Southern Baptist Convention. I will come back from the Southern Baptist Convention and we'll give a report on that Wednesday, and then we're taking the rest of the summer off. That'll be one Wednesday in June, and then the Wednesdays, there will be 4 Wednesdays in July that we will not be We will not be meeting, and then we'll get back again in August. And then we'll finish those out. And when I finish with this book, I will move into, appropriately enough, since we'll be ending with the book of Revelation, I'm going to go launch into a study of the book of Revelation, hopefully right after that. That's kind of the plan. But if something else comes up, something else that somebody else wants to talk about, that would be a good time to kind of interrupt that. So anyway, these books are now available to you to begin looking next week. And so if you would like a book, you can take a book from here tonight. If you're watching online, you got a couple of different things. First of all, these books will be made, whatever's left will be made available this coming Sunday. And so you can pick one up and take it with you and have it. Or if you are not going to be anywhere nearby, then we can send you electronic copies. Candace already has those, and you can send a request. Does that go into the comment section? It's the comment section right now. And you can let us know that you would like those. She's already got them, and she can email those to you. All right? Make sense? Everybody good with that? Okay. So, folks might be wondering, well, then what are we doing tonight if we're not starting that? And the reason we're not starting that is because I do want to have the opportunity for people to have these books to get them on Sunday, because I know some people will watch here online and they have the books, so we want them to have those before we launch into that. So that's why we're waiting until next week. But also, because of the timing of that, we have recognized on Sunday morning, we've recognized some ladies that are going off on mission work this coming summer, and I wanted to give them the opportunity. I want to highlight missions as much as we can, okay? Whether it's individuals who are going on missions that are supported by entities within our church or whatever the case. And so part of that is like educating us. What is it that we are supporting? Who are these people that we're supporting, and what is it that they're doing? And so Damaris can't be here tonight, but Abby's going to come up and share first about her time going off to Israel. And so you come and you take the desk. I was going to say take the floor, but you come and take the desk. This is your microphone, so you don't have to worry about that. There's a stand there if you would like to use that, but go give your undivided attention. And you'll have a chance to answer some questions or ask some questions.
Okay. In true Abigail fashion, this will be extremely winged. We're winging this tonight. So, let's see. I was trying to think the last time that I actually went like on a missions trip, and the only thing I can think of is Fuge. And the last year that I did Fuge was like 2016. Then I was like, no, we did Centrifuge that year. So it was really 2015 the last time that I've done some sort of missions-oriented trip. So I've never done anything international missions, never done anything big like this. So this is a big jump for me. I'm excited, super excited. Originally, it was supposed to be me and my sister going. Now it is just me going. So that is a change for those of you who are keeping up with prayer requests and all kinds of stuff. We have a lot going on with my family, so she just felt like it was a better time for maybe her to not go this summer and go another time. So the Chosen People Ministries has different outreach groups that they do, like summer trips. They may have other trips that they do other times, I'm not sure. I am mainly familiar with the one that I'm doing. So I know they have like an outreach group that goes to New York and other things in the States, but I am doing the one outreach Israel, obviously. And so the group is ages 18 to 30. So that was the other thing that I told my sister. I was like, you have a little bit more time than I do. So you've got another like 9 summers you can do this, so you're fine. Not that I'm close to 30, but anyways, I have less time than my sister. So felt like now is the right time to do it, even though I just went to Israel, literally in November, December. I think that was part of my reason to go ahead and choose now to go ahead and go, because it was on my heart. And I don't know, I had never even heard about it. It was an email that Lane had sent to my mom and was like, your girls may be interested in doing this. We were very interested. So went through the process, the interview process. It was pretty straightforward. And it is a group of like 12 of us who are going from all over. It's not just the U.S. There are a couple of people who have family members who live in Israel. Other people have done it a couple of summers before and are getting to do it again. So, and it's going to be all women this year. So that'll be kind of interesting. They did say, they were like, don't worry though. Whenever there's a group of women walking around, the Israeli men will find you quite easily. You're spotted in a crowd. I'm like, great, okay. So, anyways, I'm really excited about it. Some of the outreach things that we're gonna get to do, it's not just like with one group of people. So, once we get over there, we're gonna be staying in Jerusalem. It's kind of like a dorm style setup. So it's gonna be like in some of these neighborhoods where you walk down the street to go to the grocery store, little shops, that kind of thing. Buddy system always. So I think it'll be really good to get to know some of the other people who are going. But yeah, so that'll be kind of the headquarters area, Jerusalem. So some of the outreach that we're doing is going to be like a children's ministry I know we're getting to do. So we get to do like crafts and things like that, which, again, if y'all know me, I'm a big craft person. Art is my thing. And I think there are ways that you can use it to non-verbally communicate with people. So even if there is a little bit of a language barrier, I think art is a really good way to be able to cross that bridge and still communicate Jesus, minister to that group of people in an effective way. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna get to do some ministry like in nursing homes, which I know how they work in the US. I have no idea how the setup is over there or what that looks like, but I do know that they have a piano, and they said like, oh yeah, if you have other instruments, that sort of thing, go ahead, bring them, or we might be able to find something for you to use. And I dabble at piano, so I'm excited about that. So hopefully we'll get to, again, other nonverbal ways of communicating. Music can be a really effective tool to be able to reach people. So we're getting to do that. We're getting to work with some young adults, like our own age. I think we're getting to do a couple of like day trips with a group. I'm not exactly sure where they're from, if it's a school or college age kids or what. But I know we get to go like cherry picking, because apparently like apple picking here is kind of like a normal like fall thing. Cherry picking is like a normal summer thing over there. So apparently that's a cultural norm. So we get to go do that in the Golan Heights at some point. So I'm really excited to do that. And I think some of the older ones will have a little bit more English that they know, so they'll be able to communicate a little bit more. But I don't know. Trying to think what else. So I know we're doing a bunch of different things like that. We're helping out with a conference that is like the last week of the program. Okay, so the original program, right, is like 4 weeks. And then this year they had a conference coming in to Jerusalem like the week of the 4th of July. And so they gave us the opportunity to extend our time to be over there for 6 weeks instead of just 4, no extra cost, and have a couple of days to travel around. They said like, if you want to fly to Greece, flights are really cheap. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do something like that or not. I don't know yet. Or if I'll just stay in the country. Have no idea. But yeah, I get to travel around and do kind of our own thing during that period of time. So yeah, but the group that is coming for the conference, there's like 80 kids that are coming. And so they're all going to be coming for that conference. They need childcare, that sort of thing. So same thing, we're doing crafts and that sort of thing with us. I feel like it's going to be a giant vacation Bible school. I have no idea. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, so I don't know exactly like what to expect beyond that. I know on days that we're not doing ministry and that sort of thing. We'll get to travel around, and some of the places are places that I've already been to, got to go last time, so I'm excited to see them a second time. We get to do like Dead Sea and some of those other sites again, but I know there were things that I got to see last time that we won't get to see with this group too, so I don't know, give my whole holistic perspective on Israel now. I'm excited. Oh, we also get to do a banquet for Holocaust survivors and their families. So when we were over there last, we got to go to the Holocaust Museum, and that was just a really sobering time, I think, for all of us. You walk through this, like, it's almost like a pyramid building. I don't know, it's like a triangle, and it snakes around. So there's no direct way through. You have to snake your way through. I got about 3/4 of the way through, and I was like, I need to get out of here. I can't keep sitting here reading through all of these pamphlets and watching the videos, and I gotta get out. So, and then once you get to the very end of the museum, there's like this opening, this outlook where you get to see Jerusalem, and it's supposed to symbolize peace, and there is hope. Despite all of those terrible things that happened, there is hope, and this is the city, and all the things that have been rebuilt since that time. And there were some other sections that we went through and everything, but just going through that, getting a little bit more context than just what a history book would teach you in high school. I don't know, I'm excited to get to do the banquet. I know we're putting together like the menu, and we're decorating. I don't know if we're serving food or what. They are gonna have translators there. So we'll get to not only evangelize to these people, but also hopefully get to hear some of their stories and their experiences and everything. So that'll just be so cool, so cool. I don't know if it's all from people who are just in Jerusalem, or if there are people who are traveling for that banquet. I'm not sure, but it's like an annual thing that they do with this group. So yeah, we'll get to do that. There's another day I think we're working with single moms and putting together bags and baskets and stuff like that for them. So I don't know, the whole program is super cool. Like I said, I'm excited about it. Yeah, trying to think of anything else. Biggest prayer request that I can think of is just safety. Obviously, there are a lot of headlines and things over the last couple of months that have been great to fuel the alarmist, put it that way. But the way that the group is handling that is basically if something is happening in the north and we're going to the north that day, we're going to reroute, we're going to go to the south. Everything is pretty much close together. You know, it's like traveling around the equivalent of maybe 2 different states smushed together. It's not a very big country. And there are areas that are a little bit more war prone than others. We will not be going to those areas. So, but just safety would definitely be a prayer for me and the group that is going. And then also, you know, with us being in Jerusalem, it's not just Jews that we're talking to and those who practice Judaism. It's also Muslims, and it's other people who live there. It's such a blend of different cultures, a blend of different religions that are happening all like in this one area, and they all have these holy sites that are kind of mixed together there as well. And so for a lot of different reasons, you know, again, just safety and everyone that we come into contact with, for them to just be receptive. I don't know. I'm a big conversationalist. I feel like conversation is the best way to talk to someone who has a different perspective than you. Talk about it. You don't have to solve any issues. You don't have to whatever, but just to plant those seeds and let someone think about the words that you spoke to them in a non-confrontational way, I think is the best way to start that for them or continue. You never know what God is doing in someone's life before you or after you or any of that. So, so those are just a couple of prayer requests that I have. Are there any questions that you guys have in the room that I can answer? Try to answer.
Who's sponsoring this group?
Yeah, it's with the Chosen People Ministries is the name of the group. So when we've had the Seder here before, they had someone from that group come and come here. So it's same group. So.
Is it mostly Jews you will be working with and ministering to?
To my knowledge, yes. For some of those places, that's what I mean by like, I don't know how the system is for like nursing homes and that sort of thing. I know over here, you don't have to have a specific affiliation or anything to get your, mom, grandmother, whatever, taken care of in a nursing home. I don't know if it's more segregated over there. So I don't know. To my knowledge, it will be mostly Jews that we are working with. So. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Abby. Thank you for sharing. So, if y'all have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask her or approach her. But what I'm hoping is I'm hoping that on August the 2nd, that will be our first Wednesday night back. I'm hoping to hear from all three ladies on what they're doing this summer, or what has happened this summer in retrospect, and share with us how things went. So, look forward to hearing the follow-up to all of that. Now, I do want to just make a quick statement, and something that I don't know that if I need to. I'm not sure if I need to here. I know that I've needed to in the past. So I'm going to do it here just in case. But Acts chapter 1 says Jesus is talking. He says, "You will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be my witnesses both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and even to the remotest part of the earth." And a word that keeps popping up in that verse is the word "and." And Jerusalem, and Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the earth. Now, the reason that I have to point out the word "and" is because there are a lot of people who would prefer that verse say "or." They want to either go somewhere near or go somewhere far. And we don't get to make that call. We have to do both "and." I've had, it's so funny because usually it's somebody who's well-meaning, but they're like, especially in this case, why are we sending somebody to Israel when we have so many needs, for our case, here in Savannah, Georgia? Again, nobody said that to me in the 5 years I've been here, but that would be the equivalent of what I've heard before. Why are we sending somebody over there? And we're about to hear about Uganda here in just a second. Why are we sending somebody in Uganda? We got so many problems, so many needs here in Savannah. And like Bruce is involved in a ministry that's trying to expand here in Savannah. And kudos for that. We support that as well. Well, the reason is because we're told to. That's why. And what I find most interesting is people who want to not go overseas because we have so many problems here at home are probably the least likely to deal with issues that are here at home also. That's what I found. But people who are willing to go or send and support people who go overseas are the ones who are most willing to take part and support missions that are in our own backyard as well. That's just been my experience. So anyway, I'm all for let's send them far away, and let's send them to our back door as well. Okay, now I wasn't sure if Joanne was gonna be able to make it. She's been working with our Awana here next door. Speaking of doing both local and far, I believe, to me, Awana is a mission. I mean, it just is part of mission work. And so she's vitally involved in that, and now she's going to Uganda. So Joanne, you're up. You come on up and share with us a little bit about your trip. Open it up for questions, and then we'll be ready to pray and go.
Okay, so I'm Joanne. I will be traveling to Uganda, specifically Gombe, Uganda, to partner with Champions United Football Club, is what it's called. And this is a ministry that works with local children in that area. We will be doing a VBS, Backyard Bible Club type thing that'll be more centered around soccer. So I will do my best at that. Soccer is not my thing, but I can love on kids and I can cheer for them. So that'll be what I do for that. So that'll be part of our trip. I think 3 days of our trip will be the Backyard Football Club experience, where we will partner with coaches. And the coaches there, they are unique in that they work with Champions United as a coach, but a lot of them are also teachers in the local schools. So they do both, and they have opportunities to build really good relationships with the kids and with the families. One of the people we are traveling with, her name is Lisa. She's been before, and she has been messaging the coaches, and they are super excited that new people are coming to help partner with them and build even more relationships with these children. So I think that'll be the first part of our trip. And then after that, we will actually be going into the schools and teaching literacy, so reading and writing and things like that. We are bringing a bunch of books with us. Interestingly, we are flying with Delta, and if you know anything about Delta, they let you have 2 free checked bags. And it sounds like we will all be having an additional 3rd checked bag just to bring books and supplies to bless these schools and these children with. So that's exciting. It's going to be a lot of stuff to transport, so you can pray for that, because I have no idea what that's going to be like in Africa. So we'll be going into the schools, teaching, having a blast, and then we'll also be going into some of their homes and actually get to meet their families and really see what life in rural Uganda looks like, and hopefully be a blessing to the parents and extended family members, as well as the children that we've already built those relationships with. So that'll be the largest part of our trip. And then just for fun, because you're in Africa, I think the last day and a half we will get to go on safari. So can't lie, really excited about that. No, none of that. Lots of pictures, more like this. So very excited about that. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be hot. I'm going to learn about soccer and probably look crazy doing it. But like Lane was saying, missions is a both and. It's here and there. And no matter where you go in the world, people need Jesus. People need love. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm really excited. So prayers are very much appreciated. But things are moving along really quickly. I think it's 57 days now, so it's exciting.
Do they speak Ugandese?
So they do speak English, but they also speak Swahili. And I have been practicing and learning Swahili since the end of January, so I've been trying really hard to maybe at least know a little bit of what's happening while I'm there. Because, kids, they say stuff. And I want to know what they're saying. So I've been practicing both, but they do speak English. Yeah. I'll be happy to answer any other questions.
Dad, you got any questions?
Should have a great time.
Everything I hear is people go and they never want to leave. So, and I have a friend who actually did that, so. Well, I have something really important to come home to, so.
Okay, well, that's, so you said 57 days before you leave?
Mm-hmm.
So when are you leaving? When is that, when,
July
what,
11th
and how long will you be gone?
through the 21st.
Okay, all right, good deal. Okay, and then in the midst of all that, we're really gonna need, we got West Virginia trip coming too, and so we have, we got stuff local, we got stuff stateside, and we got stuff overseas, so that's pretty exciting. So Candace, maybe we can find out what's going on West Virginia too. So, you wanna come and tell us? No. I didn't give her any warning for that, but yes, we would like to hear about that, most assuredly. Okay, all right, well, let's go to God in prayer then for these mission opportunities. And again, I believe all these are extensions of Emmanuel Baptist Church, and which is why we should support them in every way that we can. What other prayer requests do we have before we enter into all that? Have any been shared with us before now?
Letitia has started her chemo treatments. It sounds like it's pretty intense, so, pray for her. And then Pam's mom, Josephine Haywood, is being released into Pam's care, but is to the point where she will not be able to stay by herself. So Pam's trying to figure out logistics and what she needs to do. So
Okay.
pray for them.
And just as we were getting started, I got a text. Pat Holland said she's made a lot of good progress, and she's actually going home tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So that's good, kind of quick. But she's been very impressed with Encompass. What other requests? And if you're watching online, if you'd like to share any in the comment section, you can certainly do that. Any requests in the room? Nothing? Okay, and I don't see any online, but yeah. All right, well then let's go to God in prayer. God, thank you so much for the beauty of this day and really just the last several days. And we just thank you for the life that you give us, the gifts that you give us, the opportunities that you send our way. Just help us to always be thankful for even the simple things and the things that we so easily take for granted. God, we you know the requests that we raise up, the things that concern us. Some have been mentioned or written or sent to us, and then others are kept kind of tight to the vest for whatever reason. But Lord, we know that you are Lord over all, and we come to you knowing that you are capable and able. We don't really always know exactly what your will is, but you have invited us to at least make our requests known to you, and so that's what we do here. We just ask for healing and for success in these treatments that people are seeking and things that they're going through. We thank you for the success that we hear about going on in Pat's life and just so much more. So we thank you for the chance that we have to raise our concerns with one another and share those with one another, the community that you created and that we get to enjoy to this day. Community of, I guess it's under the umbrella of Emmanuel Baptist Church, but it extends well beyond that. And then God, you know the endeavors of these ladies that a couple of them have been able to share here tonight. You know what lies ahead already, and you know the divine appointments that will be there as they intersect with the lives of other people. Prepare their hearts even now. Prepare their minds and their mouths, and give them the right words to say. And I pray that you'd prepare the hearts of those that they'll come in contact with those who maybe they've gotten a taste of the gospel or heard a little bit about it, and maybe this is just part of that watering process, or maybe there would be a great harvest. Whatever the case, be with every action that they take and every interaction and every conversation, and use them to further your gospel to the uttermost parts of the earth. And I pray that you would open up more opportunities in the future for individuals and groups from within Emmanuel Baptist Church, and that we would be obedient to your calling, and that we would you'd use us to make a difference in Savannah and beyond, both local and distant and everywhere in between. God, we look forward to Sunday when we can get back together and worship you and pray that you are pleased by that. And until that time, use us and protect us. Keep us close to you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, whether it's here or online. And we will look forward to seeing y'all Sunday, if not sooner.